Tate, Harrigan, Grothe and Bill Harrigan. Come on. Grab a seat anywhere, boys. You mix your maroons and blues up. All right. There's a
field, you know, Andrew Fafita and Aaron Woods, they were just really strong, and then the bench guys came on and did a fantastic job. I thought our bench guys weren't able to sort of either lift the tempo or at least compete, and then there was just that moment after half time where they scored a try, we made an error. Oh, they actually scored just before half time. Then they scored another try, we made an error, and that's what we've been doing in the last 10 years. So it just goes to show you how much a game can change.
On Triple M, and just another plug there, if you don't listen to Triple M when you get back home, turn off 2GB, turn off the ABC and hit the FM dial 104.9. Okay, now on air last night on Triple M, I did the wrap up of the referees in around about 30 seconds. Matty Chechen was the lead ref, Jerry Sutton was the standby ref for the in the pocket, and I thought he did a great job. You would have seen some things there last night that you think that should have been a penalty, and yes, in your week in, week out NRL game, it would have been, but as you've heard me say here on many occasions, State of Origin is not week in, week out footy. It is a different ball game, and they let the game run.
Good too, like Billy said, it is a different ball game. Everyone pays their money to go, and everyone turns their telly on to watch Origin, and you know, we want to see a quick, fast game, and that's exactly what we got. I thought that first half last night was outstanding. It was end-to-end stuff. You know, I was sitting there in the grandstands on the edge of the seat the whole time, and yeah, I thought it was a wonderful game of footy. But no excuses for us. The boys were just too good.
Absolutely. I thought the New South Wales boys that went out there, you can see they were absolutely pumped up. But what I was really happy with, I had a fault with Andrew Fafita a couple of years ago because he, every time that someone had a go at him, he'd come back and throw a punch or whatever. And I had the chance to speak to him before, and so I thought he had a wonderful game. The reason I'm saying that, I said, mate, you can contribute strongly to us winning the game by you know, doing what you do so well. But if anyone can
beat Queensland at Suncorp Stadium, yep, you might as well get the records are going to keep tumbling, maybe. There's one. Andrew Fafita's effort was absolutely outstanding. He and James Tedesco perhaps either could have been man of the match, but Guru used to play the game similar, take the ball up hard and run and knock everyone out of the way, but you must have been impressed with Andrew Fafita's performance.
Yeah, absolutely. As Steve was saying, what's gone out of his game a little bit is the niggle. You know, he stopped that, and he definitely stopped that last night. But he was that was the best front row performance I've seen for a while from both sides. He was.
Realise why he did it, but it was almost the only offloads in the game was by Andrew Fafita, and they weren't just offloads that he didn't even think about it. And his support players, Maloney, Pearce, they were there, Tedesco. And that's probably got to be the most exciting thing for New South Wales supporters. And you know, I thought Nathan Peach was outstanding as well. Is those players doing a great job.
Yeah. And had some time with them there. Did you get a sense that this was coming?
Yeah, look, it was a good feel. You never really know what's going to happen with an Origin. It comes down to that 80 minutes, obviously. But there was a really good feel, like I think I said before, it was a really good mix. The boys were getting on well. And to win an Origin game, you can't just be the best players in the best form for your club team. You need to be the best team on the night. You need to be close. You need to be mates. You need to get on well. There's all these little things that go into creating a good bond between players and not what.
The performance last night of Jared Hayne was obviously at times magical, which is why it was picked. There was some question marks over his selection, and also the fact that basically 5 fullbacks were selected in the New South Wales team, but it didn't hurt them.
No, certainly, I was probably one of the. When they originally named Jared centres, I thought to myself, geez, that's a bit hard done by Jared Grothe. I thought you know what you're going to get from him, and it was a bit more of a safer bet. But Jared Hayne, we all know what he's capable of doing, and he certainly showed that, and I think he can show us a hell of a lot more too.
Outstanding, he scored the last try. Jared loves the big stage. Laurie Daly picked him for that reason. But look, I'll throw it open to all the boys. If you have an opinion, just jump in and what your thoughts are and what was the... Well, I'd like to know what your thoughts are on no Billy Slater being selected. Jonathan Thurston obviously not there. Many people think they might have made a difference, but I think Matt Scott was the biggest missing key for there, and you probably agree with that, Steve. Missing a front rower.
Yeah, well, we're dominating the middle, so whether it's Matty Scott or that's probably the big question mark for Kevin now is what do we do, because we're
a better talker or organiser of a defensive line than Billy Slater, so we were really loose around the middle of the ruck last night. So having someone like Billy with his energy there, I think it's probably something Kevin will really need to look at the second game.
Steve, I just like that support what Brent said, because a lot of people watch when Billy Slater's in defence. He's back and he talks, he's like right or whatever. But also in attack, when he sees an opportunity, and went to his maybe Jonathan Thurston, or it might have been Darren Lockyer, going back then too. But I've sort of seen him say, "You take the ball up, run at that bloke, and I'll come round." In other words,
Last chance tonight, if not. But Bill, we're probably not going to get to talk to you much in this talk because there really wasn't much to controversially referees-wise. But there was one incident in the second half that ended Mitchell Pearce's game, and it was a pretty sickening high shot. What were your thoughts on that?
Play on. Stay origin. Drink a cup of cement, get up. No, it wasn't. The tip was okay. He didn't go in there and use the shoulder with the intention. He did have his left arm coming in the swing to make a hit, and Mitchell Pearce did lower his body and he got the brunt of it. He was actually looking to his left to take the pass, and the hit come in from his right and just got him flush as he turned. So there was no problem with that. I was more concerned with the chicken wing on Nate Miles. I think that needed to be looked at. And yeah, there was a spear tackle that was penalised, and there was also a spear tackle before that was let go, which I thought should have been penalised. But as you said, mate, overall I thought the referees contributed to a really good game of footy. And I don't think there's an argument from any of us here that it was a good game of footy. Personally, I would like to see Queensland score, say, 2 more tries and just make it a nail biter towards the end. But unfortunately it didn't happen, and I know you New South Wales people don't want to see that. Shut up. Shut up. Yeah. But you'll fill ANZ Stadium now, so good luck to you. And I don't give a hoot.
We obviously didn't get to see a lot of him. He left the game concussed, but he'd had some ordinary moments in that first half, and then of course he scored the try on half-time. And that was probably what he needed to get his confidence going, but we didn't get to see that roll on in the second half. How do you think he's going mentally at the moment with everything he's been through?
It'd be hard for him to sort of concentrate, especially in camp with what's happened before and all that sort of stuff. But no, you're right. After he scored that try, it changed him. He had a different persona about him, and he sort of took the game a little bit, to himself. But unfortunately, it didn't last for him.
I'd like to see him run the ball a little bit more. He's a great runner of the football. He can step off both feet. But probably the opportunities probably didn't come up for him. But I thought he had a solid game, and you're right, you get a bit of confidence after you score that type of try, and then you're looking to run a bit more and take some more opportunities. But a little bit disappointed, but he'll be their game too. I don't think they can make any changes after the way they all played. The guy for me that really came on and made an impact was Wayne Graham. I thought he came, he threw that little inside pass, a couple of good runs. I think he was just another one of those ex-top.
Very strong. I want to get some opinions on that. And of course he replaced Robbie Farah. No doubt Robbie wasn't too happy. He's in Bali watching the game, so he was disappointed, but no doubt happy with the result. Your thoughts on Peatsy?
Yeah, I would have picked Pete's. He would have been my first choice anyway. I think he's a tough young kid. I think the way, obviously, and a lot of people have said it, the way Laurie picked the team, he wanted Mitchell Pearce and Jim Malone to run it, so they just wanted a hooker to be able to stand and deliver and play tough up the middle, and that's exactly what Pete's does. And I thought for his first Origin game last night, he was really, really good. And I've also thought off the bench, that's probably where New South Wales sort of got us a little bit. I think, like you said, Wade Graham, David Homer come on, and some of his runs last night, you know, that he just really, his metres after contact were
Tedesco had a wonderful game, but I thought our defence was superb. You know, we just put the pressure on them, and again, you can see blokes helping each other, hold them down and get back up again or whatever. But I thought.
Is that the team that you'll pick again for the game too?
I reckon there should be about 6 or 7 changes.
It's a good standard for Peter.
I reckon
He's got an opinion. Farah, bring him back.
bring him back. Jimmy Tamau, bring him back. Trent Merrin, he's going to come back.
So many great options there for the Blues, and still, you know, there's a player that I thought should have been in the beginning, Paul Vaughan. He's been the prop. Yep. He's been the prop of the year so far. He's probably unlucky, and he probably won't get a chance now because of that performance. What about young Jake Trebojevic, being from a Manly point of view? How did he go?
I thought he played really well. A couple got a touch early. A couple of good
Did he make there, or?
Yeah, I thought Milf was actually pretty good last night. I thought he was probably one of our most dangerous points in attack. Obviously, when JT comes back, which I think he should be right by game 2, it's obviously a no-brainer. But
Alfie Lang got man of the match for Queensland. He wasn't off the field.
I'm not sure who can answer that. Anyone? Bill? Is Alfie allowed on that long? 95%.
He's only supposed to be behind the player when they're in attack, but he likes to dawdle a little bit and loiter, and you know, so he was there 14th man out on attack. He goes good. Yeah. My opinion is they all should be off the field. They shouldn't be on there, and when they need a drink, it's at the try being scored or something like that. Otherwise, get those shirts off them.
Maybe we should invite. Perhaps if we invite Alfie on one of these cruises, that might get him out of the mix.
you don't want him on this cruise because everyone will be having shots and everyone will be
about your wonderful era at Penrith and even playing in a grand final. And I got accosted with some Panthers fans out there threatening to throw me overboard if we didn't make a mention of it. So just quickly, I wanted to do that, and can you give him a round of applause for what he did at Penrith? And you can make a comment about that period if you like.
I finished at the Bulldogs. I remember going to Peter Moore's office and sitting down with him and expecting him to re-sign for another 3 or 4 years or whatever. I put on the table in my office from other clubs, and he looked over and he thought, and he said, I'd take the Penrith one. Anyway, but it hasn't worked out. I think Bullfrog did it for my benefit. I went to Penrith. I had 3 great years at Penrith. As a senior player, me and Peter Kelly, and we were so lucky we had a team of young fellas that were just hungry. I were like young dogs, they're just looking at you, wanting to kill. That's exactly what they did. Mark Dwyer, Johnny Carter, young Freddie Fittler with his earring and dyed hair, and of course we had Royce up the front, so it was a very well balanced side, and we had a fair bit of success. We had a wonderful coach in Ronnie Willie. Oh, Ronnie, we went home with some laughs after most training runs, and God bless him, he's gone now. But it made a very, very rewarding time.
And many people, certainly you get the credit as you deserve for changing that side and it became a champion side then.
Not just me.
Yes, many people do say that. And will you put your hands together too for Chris Mortimer? How are you Penrith fans? Are you happy? Back to Origin. We divert a little bit and let's witness a changing of the guard, do you think?
Yes, in a way, yeah. But whenever a player puts on a Queensland jumper, it's a different story. They no matter who'll play or replace the guys that are retiring soon or whatever, they'll come up with something. You never write them off.
All right. Anyone else before we go back out?
Well, I know before we had this run, they did the stats of the State of Origin and the wins between both teams, and it was almost win for both states, and it wasn't just for and against, they were almost exact.
Heard very little of them. Is that a fair assumption? In your opinion, they do a good job?
It's a fair assumption. It was Matty Chetson's second game. He refereed one back in 2012. I think it was Jerry's 7th or 8th game, but most of the games that he refereed, he was the lead ref, so last night he took the pocket. And I just think that the team that they sent out there last night with Brent Suttler and Chris Butler on the sidelines was a good team. They worked well together, and I was very confident with Matty Chetson. I like his style of refereeing, and I was very confident in the way that he would go out and handle that game. And he did exactly that. He let some things go last night, as I said, you'd normally see penalised, but he let them go last night. We got the game that we were looking for. It was entertainment plus, and they contributed to it. Good job.
Billy, any changes to the refs? We've spoken about New South Wales, Queensland changes. Refs, same refs?
Yeah, they're going with the same, but those two guys have still got to get through 2 more rounds of their normal footy. So as long as they get through those rounds unscathed, you'll get the same blokes back out there again.
So it's pick and stick with the refs as well.
I wouldn't change a bloody thing because we won.
There you go. We won't ask the Maroons. No, so we're not changing anyone at the moment. Any more questions?
So things to do in the shed after a win. Let's go.
Things that they would normally put up on the weekends. Will the match review committees look at them in a different way to the referees this time around?
No, the match review committee still have their job, so they'll certainly look at the couple of spear tackles, they'll look at the chicken wing. They're sure to do their job independently.
Initial pierce knock out? Is that a shoulder to the...
Play on.
You don't like New South Wales.
Play on. I don't like New South Wales. I told you I don't like any of them.
So there'll be a couple there to look at for the match review committee. Alright, all?
Mindset and bond that you had, that'll be the difference. But, last night, the way the Blues played, I would have loved to have a full-strength Queensland side out there to see how they stand up against that. So I think they'll get a couple of players back for the second game. So obviously, like you said, you'll throw in a Billy Slater, and then we'll really see how we stand up against them. But that'll be a great game.
And some of these all-time greats that we're seeing are all around a similar age. So when they all retire at the same time, it's certainly going to be interesting to see